Once the mighty superpower that ruled over 3 continents, the Ottoman Empire stood as a titan for centuries. But by the 19th century, the cracks were widening and decline was inevitable. Corruption, war, and political instability were dragging the empire to its knees. So, what exactly led to the downfall of the Ottoman Empire between 1828 and 1908? Stay with us as we unravel the epic story of one of history's greatest collapses. By the early 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was struggling to keep up with the rapidly modernizing European powers. The Russo-Turkish War of 1828 to 1829 exposed the empire's military weakness, forcing Sultan Mahmud II to take drastic action. He abolished the elite yet outdated Janissary Corps and initiated sweeping reforms known as the Tanzimat period, 1839 to 1876. But was it too little, too late? These reforms aimed to modernize the empire's military, economy, and administration, but they also increased European influence. While the Ottoman government borrowed heavily from European banks to fund modernization, this led to skyrocketing debt, giving foreign powers a dangerous foothold within the empire. Meanwhile, nationalism was tearing through the empire like wildfire. Greek independence in 1830 was a warning sign, and soon, uprisings in Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria followed. The Ottomans struggled to contain these movements, but European powers like Russia and Britain had their own interests in the region. In 1853, the Crimean War erupted. The Ottomans, backed by Britain and France, managed to defeat Russia, but the cost was devastating. The empire relied too much on European aid, exposing its vulnerability. And despite momentary victories, the empire continued its downward spiral. Desperate for change, reformists pushed for a constitution. In 1876, Sultan Abdulhamid II initially embraced this idea, marking the beginning of the first constitutional era. The empire's first parliament was established, signaling hope for a new future. But power is a tricky thing. Just 2 years later, Abdulhamid II suspended the constitution and dissolved the parliament, ruling as an absolute monarch. He prioritized security and suppression over reforms, leading to an era of autocracy. But could a single ruler hold together a crumbling empire? By the late 19th century, the Ottoman Empire was a shadow of its former self. The loss of territory continued with the Congress of Berlin in 1878, where Serbia, Montenegro, and Romania gained full independence. Meanwhile, European powers carved out their influence, with Britain occupying Egypt in 1882. The Ottoman economy was in ruins, with foreign banks practically controlling its finances. But not everyone was willing to accept decline. A revolutionary group called the Young Turks began gaining traction. They demanded the restoration of the constitution and an end to autocratic rule. Their movement would soon shake the empire to its core. In 1908, after years of growing unrest, the Young Turks launched a revolution. Faced with mass protests and military pressure, Sultan Abdulhamid II had no choice but to reinstate the 1876 constitution, marking the beginning of the second constitutional era. The empire was at a turning point. But could it still be saved? While the reinstatement of the Constitution brought temporary hope, the cracks were already too deep. Just a few years later, the empire would be dragged into World War I, sealing its fate. The days of Ottoman dominance were over, and that's the story of the decline of the Ottoman Empire between 1828 and 1908. What do you think? Could the empire have changed its fate, or was collapse inevitable? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more history deep dives. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.